Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are just doing a quick sound sync. We'll be with you any second. So thank you for joining me on this radio show. We'll be with you very shortly, just after these technical... Oh, we're here.
We are here.
We're actually here.
Yeah, perfect. We are live. Welcome to Hat Chat Live. I just tried to make sure that everything was syncing in exactly the way that it should be. But yeah, we are officially here and everything seems to be going well. Today on this channel, obviously you can see that we are one down.
We are.
Yeah, we have a broken arrow. Unfortunately, Orb will not be joining us for this evening. He said he may pop in a little bit later into our Twitch chat.
Yes, and that would be to pick up his P45.
That would be it.
Yeah. Or is it P60? I've never lost a job, so I don't know.
P45, that's when you leave a job as well. Same thing.
Okay.
P60 is your end of your tax review.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that either.
Who do you think you are, Jimmy Carr? Anyway, today on the channel, we are going to be talking about the fact that Nintendo has finally realised that free advertising is not such a bad thing.
No, it isn't. Everyone loves a bit of free advertising. In fact, you should tune in tonight to twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat to watch us play Super Mario 64, which is a Nintendo game which we are going to freely advertise for them. How nice are we?
Yeah, not that they'll be getting a ridiculous amount of Mario 64 buys from us. But nonetheless, it's free advertising.
By the way, this Pepsi is absolutely delicious, I have to say.
Yeah, it's been nice. Yeah. I think I have one of these as well.
It's great. Such a nice drink.
Yeah, very nice. It's considerably better than Pepsi Man.
It is indeed.
That game was awful.
But free advertising, once again.
Yeah. Right, anyway. Where are we going from here? Can you remember? Okay. Basically, what happened was... Nintendo released a statement a few days ago.
They released a statement from Planet Nintendo 64, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. And Nintendo of America tweeted out...
And Nintendo of Europe as well.
And Nintendo of Europe. We're making it easier for creative fans to show their love for Nintendo and monetize videos that include Nintendo game content. Please take a look at our new guidelines here. And then there's a link. So after reading through these, it seems that Nintendo have released YouTubers and streamers from their stranglehold, which stopped them from putting any game-related footage onto their channels.
The thing I find rather amusing about all of this is in most scenarios, Nintendo had no legal right to stop us uploading and monetizing footage anyway.
No, they didn't.
Hence why I have always uploaded and monetized footage containing Nintendo stuff. I'm literally not doing anything legally wrong. It falls under transformative fair use law. So if anything, it's a bit arrogant putting up a statement now telling me that I'm allowed to do so when I was already in my legal rights to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's quite strange that YouTube kind of bowed down to them.
They did, but I would make the assumption. What's that strange noise?
It's a tapping coming from the other side of that wall.
Is it coming from the other side of the wall? That's
it is
very
coming from the other side of the
That's
wall.
That's very annoying.
Oh well, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It should, yeah.
Yes, Santa Claus isn't getting in my house. I've sealed the chimney, so maybe that's what the problem is.
Maybe
he's drunk and he doesn't realise he's a month early.
Yeah.
It's the 1st of December. Maybe he's checking his roots.
Yeah, my watch says it's the 31st of November.
Okay.
I forgot to change it.
Oh, unlucky. But yes, Nintendo and their stranglehold. Transformatively, I use their content in my videos regularly, and I always have done, and I've always monetized it because, as I said, legally, I'm in my rights to do so. All you have to do is look at fair use law, look at YouTube's terms of service, and you're allowed to upload gameplay footage, provided it's transformative. For example, if you've put a commentary over the top, if you've edited it and spliced it up yourself, you do whatever you want with it by law.
Yeah, that's completely right. Which lots of people do, and then get absolutely screwed and have their channels demonetized and all sorts of stuff.
But I think when it comes to situations like that, it's often that's not always the case, because that's when it can be reversed. But a lot of the time it is people abusing fair use law. Like, I've always argued the point that if you're uploading Let's Plays or even live streaming on Twitch like we're about to do, you are abusing fair use, because playing a game is not transformative. You are literally showing the gameplay. There's nothing transformative about it. Yes, you're putting a commentary over the top, but I might as well upload Star Wars Episode 1 to my YouTube channel, then just talk about it over the top. That would not make it transformative, just putting a commentary over the top.
Again,
it would still be the same content.
I think what it is, there's a slight difference. If you're playing a film, it's going to be exactly the same every single time.
Yeah.
If you go and watch a film, you're going to get exactly the same experience watching that film over and over and over and over again, because it's the same film. When you're playing...
I've watched the Star Wars films many times, and every now and then I'll watch it again, and there will be a scene I somehow missed the last time I watched it. So I do not think that's entirely true.
Okay, well, generally. Okay? As a general thing, you're watching the same thing every single time. Okay? But when you're playing a game, some people are better at it than others. Some people know different routes or might think about the game in different ways. So when you're playing this game, you get a different experience watching somebody play it to playing it yourself.
Okay, but it's hard. It's really hard because it's so wide. Like, when is playing a game transformative? When isn't it transformative? Like certain games, such as a visual novel, for example.
Yeah.
Would there be any way of playing that transformatively?
Visual novels generally have varying paths. So they might choose something that you didn't choose, and their path will be completely different.
I understand what you're saying, but the more modern games feature a lot of story content, don't they? There is no way of transforming that story content as you're playing through. So you'll get like 10 minutes of dialogue. There is no way you can show that transformatively. It's not possible.
Yeah. I mean, I
The
suppose...
retro games, yes, but
Yeah.
not modern games. You cannot play modern games transformatively. I'm sorry, but fair enough. It is free advertising for the gaming companies, which is why they're happy to allow it. And I can see why it seems that Nintendo are taking that same route now, because they want that free advertising as well. But I can see why legally there is a problem there with Let's Playing and live streams, etc.
Yeah.
Because there's not much transformation involved in that sort of content.
Yeah. I can see your point, but I do think that generally a good thing.
It's a good thing, there's no question about that. The more freedom we've got to use content and footage, the better it is for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the anti-Article 13.
Yeah, it's weird that they're doing it at the same time.
Is it weird, though? Or is this pre-planned somehow? There's got
Do you
to
think?
be some sort of relation between the two.
I mean, Nintendo... I mean,
It seems too close, doesn't it? 2 months before Article 13 and they've announced this.
Yeah. There must be something going on in there.
You've got to put
in their
the parts
Japanese
together.
minds to make them think, actually, this is a great idea. Well, this is what we need to
Could
do.
it be to save face, to make themselves look good, because they know that people aren't going to be allowed to do it in a few weeks' time anyway? Or, no, I've got it, because when Article 13, if it was to go through, then obviously we would not have the legal grounds to partake in fair use. Like, I would not be able to make the sort of content I make where I splice bits of footage together to create something new. Legally, I wouldn't be allowed to do that if Article 13 went through. However, if Nintendo issued a statement, they're giving us permission to do so. Therefore, once Article 13 goes through, it overrides Article 13. So there we go, we figured it out.
So basically, all we need is every developer and every producer of a game and Xbox and PlayStation themselves to all release statements saying, it's fine, do what you want.
And maybe that's what's going to happen.
Maybe. And that will protect YouTube gaming, I suppose.
Yes, and protect, not just YouTube gaming, protect gaming itself, because that's the main way it's marketed these days.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely the main way it's marketed.
Yeah, I mean, I did have an argument with one of our regular viewers on Twitter. Then they were saying, well, no, because they're not saying it's okay for Twitch because it's their monetization. I said, no, that's what it was before. They said you couldn't monetize anything, and they were like, well, it's not Twitch's monetization for bits and subscriptions. And I said, well, it is. It's the only way of making money in their affiliate program. So that must be what they're covered. Bear in mind, they specifically mention Twitch's affiliate program. And they said you were allowed to monetize their games through that system. So that it makes sense.
It does.
It does. So
and you can see
just
they've been putting things in place for a while now. Hence, they've just put YouTube on the Nintendo Switch, haven't they?
Yes.
So when you connect all the dots, it does line up the climate in the world and the way Nintendo are progressing.
Yeah.
At the moment, they're just very, very late to the party.
Yeah, it's strange that they've been so. I mean, I think what they did was there was a big thing about you could monetize videos on YouTube, and their videos specifically, like Let's Play videos and stuff of Nintendo games, but there was a condition on this. I'm assuming lots of people knew.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it was the Nintendo Partnership Program. Nintendo YouTube Partnership Program. So if you wanted to do it, Nintendo basically had to authorise you to be able to do this.
Yes, so...
and they would take some of your money.
And you could only make propaganda content that way. You wasn't allowed to say anything negative.
This is kind of the thing. You could pretty much only say nice things. If you were just going through their videos as a partner, going through their games and going, right, okay, well, this is a game that I played, this is a Nintendo game, and actually I hate it. You would lose you could potentially lose your
and you can see all the people who got involved with the Nintendo partner programs, like some of the bigger YouTubers. They ended up getting people like Shigeru Miyamoto on their channel and Reggie Fizzles as well. Yeah. And all people like that. They had them as guests on the channel.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you had to do nice things.
Yes.
You couldn't just go, well, actually, I thought this was a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, you had to be completely biased.
Yeah, definitely. So opening it up to everybody could have some rather negative consequences. But bear in mind they've been so nice about it, I'm assuming they probably won't.
I don't think it will. It's no different from before, as I said, because people like me, who's not always the nicest about the company, legally I've always been allowed to use Nintendo footage in my videos anyway, which I've always done so.
Yeah, but YouTube hasn't liked you doing it.
Sometimes, but then I've just re-edited the footage and then stretched it and stuff, so YouTube's not been able to detect it.
But that's the problem. You shouldn't have had to have done that.
I shouldn't have, but in those cases where YouTube has said you can't, Nintendo claimed your video, in theory, what I could have done is clicked the like protest button and then claimed it back. But the issue would have been you get all your views within the first couple of days on YouTube videos, as you know. So Nintendo would have taken all that revenue automatically. Yes. Which would have been ridiculous, obviously. So their abuse of fair use law allowed them to steal money off creators, and I mean in a literal sense, literally stealing money.
Yes. But the thing is that YouTube didn't have to do this.
What, the auto-claim thing? They
didn't have to say, well, actually, yeah, you are right, because they don't do it for Xbox. No. And they don't do it for PlayStation.
What, the auto-claim system?
They, Nintendo and PlayStation is kind of like, well, we kind of do what you want. Xbox, PlayStation, kind of like, well, do what you want with it. If you want to live stream the games, that's absolutely fine. Whereas Nintendo are very much the opposite of that. And YouTube could have turned around at any point and gone, actually, your take on the fair use law is wrong. Our people and our lawyers have sat down and had a look at fair use law and gone, actually, your take on it isn't right. What they've basically done is gone, actually, we like you, Nintendo, and we're going to just bend over and take it.
Yeah, so the whole situation was... Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter for YouTube because they would have got their advertising revenue no matter what. They don't care whether the creator's getting it or the big corporation in the form of Nintendo. Yeah. And as I said, to be fair, there was no issue with Nintendo monetising things like Let's Plays because there's nothing transformative, in my opinion, about a Let's Play. It was the other scenarios, if you show like a few seconds of Nintendo footage in a 10-minute video and bang, all the revenue is illegally going towards Nintendo. The thing is, and I've not got the money to sue them to take that money back.
Let's Plays are the same as streaming. Okay, so if even like again, I'm going to mention
Let's Plays are the same as streaming. I agree.
I'm going to mention a YouTuber slash streamer who I talk about quite a lot on this channel. There's two actually that do very similar things. Grand Pooh Bear and Carl Sagan 42. Both of these stream on Twitch. And then take that footage and make basically extended compilation videos of what they do on Twitch and upload it onto YouTube, which is absolutely fine according to Twitch's terms and conditions, which say that actually you can only, if you have a stream up on YouTube on Twitch, you can't move it over to YouTube for 24 hours. So they do all of this, and it's absolutely fine. And essentially, it's just compilated Let's Play footage, and it's actually really entertaining. I really enjoy it. But what they're doing is technically wrong, according to Nintendo.
I've not seen their footage, but so I can't comment.
Essentially, it's just the same as what we do on stream with a little box in the corner with us in it.
Well, yeah, that technically, yeah, it is wrong, isn't it? Because it's not particularly transformative.
But the thing is, it is. Because it's about the personality. It's
It is about the
behind it.
personality, but if you're showing a whole game, you're giving away what the game's about. It'd be like showing a film and giving away all this, literally showing a film. It's no different, is it?
They did a study recently where they looked at people's enjoyment of different films, both pre and post spoiler, and people enjoyed it equally once they had spoilers before it than if they didn't.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I'm looking at all of this from a legal perspective rather than like a marketing perspective.
Transformative is it's a very vague word, and that's the problem.
Yes.
A Let's Play without a face cam in the corner and no commentary over the top, I think, is probably a
long play. I think they're called. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just not. You're literally showing the game and nothing
which
else.
is a little bit dodge.
And a lot of people as well literally just upload Nintendo music to their channels as well. There's definitely...
Do they? I've never gone on there and borrowed their music for background music for Top Hat Chat, ever.
Yeah, but again, there's literally nothing transformative going on there, is there?
There's not. But I can see that as being an issue. But again, these were uploaded fine and they exist. So...
It's like, I'm looking at the chat now, it's like Lion Secret said, this is why React channels are legal.
Yes. Yeah. Essentially, that is why. One thing that I did do, do you remember that we did, ages ago, we did a live Nintendo Direct reaction?
Yes.
And it's still currently the most viewed
video on
our little channel. I think it's over 5k now. Well over, yeah. So it was over 5k last time I checked. It stopped gaining traction now, obviously, because it's very old news. But we got around their thing by placing it there. On the Wii U screen. And it did really well. And people, I'm assuming, probably liked the fact that we were being a little bit...
normal. It was a reaction video where we reacted like human beings rather than screaming and screeching.
Yeah, rather than hungry monkeys on crack.
Yes.
So yeah, it's one of those things where actually you should be able to do that. I should have been able to put a little box at the corner of the screen somewhere, like here, with the actual Nintendo Direct on it, and we should have reacted to it.
See, I don't know whether we should have legally been allowed to do that, because we're not actually transforming that footage. The footage box in the middle is literally showing the Direct.
Again,
therefore we're stealing revenue directly from
I think you're
Nintendo.
taking a bit of an autist's view on this. You're using the word transform in a very literal sense. But you're talking about, well, it would have been fine if we'd actually transformed, like bent it round a corner.
No, like, that's preposterous.
Well, they've said that any...
But what I mean by transform is splice it up, throw some music over the top, put it in a different order, run a commentary over the top, then you're transforming it. Literally showing it in the corner, we go, we're watching this video together. That's not transformative.
But it is, because it's transforming for what its original intention. Its original intention is to... basically just inform.
But you could literally, if you was allowed to do that, you could literally get away with whatever's the newest film out. You could just sit there with a video camera in the cinema, upload it to YouTube in the corner and just look down at it and say, this is quite good.
You should be able to do that, because anybody that is stupid enough to think this is a good way of watching a film should be shot.
But that's pretty much how we did used to watch films back in the day. Well, I did.
Yeah.
I did, just sitting near the man in the corner. It would just be, you could see the heads at the bottom of the screen and the rest. Yeah.
Well, I quite like that, because you could turn the lights off and pretend you're in the cinema.
Yeah, atmospheric.
But I'm saying like squeezing it right down into nothing, so you can just see like what we're reacting to. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's dodge. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know whether I see that as fair use.
I like the fact that you've taken on my vernacular as well.
Vernacular?
It's a bit dodge.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like a Top Hat gaming word.
But then again, there's people who completely abuse fair use on YouTube, such as Watch Mojo. It's hard to... Is that fair use?
What, just taking somebody's exact content, transforming it into your own and re-releasing it?
That's what I'm saying. Where does transformation end?
That's kind of the point. It's how much you transform it.
Oh.
Just transforming it into your own.
Let's just say, if Article 13 does go as the evil European Union intend it to go, at least it will end things like Watch Mojo.
It will.
It's
it's going to be quite difficult to get around that. Although, yeah, I think it's going to harm more than anything else, which is a shame. I mean, luckily, the thing is that, like, another thing about this, actually, I'm going to bring this up really quickly, is that this has been something that Europeans have been talking about for a while.
A long time.
I've
been moaning about Article 13 for months and months.
Yeah, a long time ago you mentioned this to me. And Americans didn't seem to care.
Because they're idiots. Not all Americans, sorry, but you got to think of things from a global perspective sometimes.
And all of a sudden, they've gone...
Article 13 is just as much a threat to America as net neutrality was to Europeans.
Yes, yeah. The fact of, you can no longer produce content which is transformative.
In Europe, that's the thing.
It means, yes, you can't produce it, but in theory you can't watch it.
The problem is, you could produce this content in America, and then you can no longer access a European audience. Are we talking about a full-on hard Article 13 here? A hard Article 13. If we had a full hard Article 14, that would be even worse.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what that would be. But a full-on Article 13. If you lived in America, made a video, you would lose access to the 740 million viewers who live within the European Union.
And I guarantee that would affect your ad revenue in some way, shape.
Yes, and it would also affect competition as well. For example, if there's less advertisers in the market, therefore the advertisers will drop what they're willing to pay. Sorry, if there's less consumers in the market, the advertiser won't be willing to pay the same amount. So everyone on YouTube will lose out. The viewers, it would just, like I said, it's literally. They've mentioned the adpocalypse before. This one time, if it went through, this really would be the adpocalypse. It would potentially kill the whole internet.
Yes. That might be a little bit...
I don't think that's hyperbole.
It's coming close, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It
would change the internet as we know it.
Yeah.
It'd be like going from cold Russia to becoming the USSR or something like that. Is probably good comparison.
It's a real shame because... people are going to lose out on money.
Yes.
And a lot of people that produce this content...
It's not losing out on money. It's losing out on creativity.
Yeah.
It's losing out on fun. It's losing everything.
But what I'm saying is like, a lot of people do this as a full-time living, and that's why they can afford to put the amount of effort they put into their videos.
Yeah.
And that's how they can afford to put out the amount of videos that they do. If they suddenly lost half their revenue, they'd have to go out and get an actual job.
They would.
Rather than this happy tap-away job, which everybody seems to enjoy so much.
The only thing is, I don't know whether it's necessarily true, because I think I make better content than most professional YouTubers, and I think the reason why I produce better content than most of them...
is because you neglect your family considerably.
Yes, and because I know that I've got to push out content and make it even better and better and better, so I can afford to go full-time.
Yeah. But you only release 2 videos a week.
Because I wouldn't want.
Because one's an in-depth, which does take you a lot of time. Fair enough. And if we're being completely honest, the second one is usually relatively throwaway.
Yes, thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, which is fine. I've got no issue with that. I don't think anybody watching will have any issue with that. But this is fact. And if you were doing it full time and were releasing, 5-6 videos a week every week. If all of a sudden you lost half the income that you got off of that and had to release another job, you'd have to go back to doing 2 a week.
Yes.
Which is a shame. Because it means that you'll be doing less.
Yeah.
So the good content will be crippled.
Yes. Of course, there's nothing positive could come of Article 13 for anyone.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. But, the main thing here is Nintendo. Nintendo finally realised that free advertising is not such a good thing. It seems like they're doing...
Free advertising is not such a good thing.
It is a good thing. Because it is, isn't it? Let's be completely honest.
Of course. Anything for free is good, such as emulating Nintendo games.
I don't think that's fair use.
That's definitely fair. It's no different to doing a Let's Play, is it, in terms of fair use? You're playing it transformatively. Every play experience is different from the next. So therefore, if a Let's Play is fair use, so is playing a ROM.
I don't think that you've
I've adapted, transformed your definition of fair use.
What, you've made it from theirs into yours, therefore it's transformed.
Yes.
So Watch Mojo are fine.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go off over to our long play stream, which is not okay apparently. Yeah. Would you like to do some kind of fun outro which advertises this?
Yes, we're about to legally advertise Nintendo games on twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat, where I continue my quest to get 120 stars in Super Mario 64.
Yes.
And I'm 85 in, so tonight I'm hoping to get the remaining 25.
Yes, and we think this is probably going to be the last Mario 64 stream that we do.
Yes,
this is
I'm
our
hoping
third
to beat
one.
it tonight. Yes.
So if you don't do it tonight, that's it.
Is that it?
That's
really?
it.
We're just going to leave the last couple of stars?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That's what's going to happen. So if you want to come and watch Top Hat Game Man fail at Mario 64...
I will never fail at Mario 64, especially on ice slides involving bandanas with Union Jacks on.
That is true.
But we will see you shortly. Cheerio!